The sound of a $200 bottle of Dom Pérignon shattering on the tiled floor didn't scare me as much as the manic look in my sister Cassie's eyes. She screamed that my black wheelchair looked like an ugly lump of coal, ruining her perfect engagement photo. Then she shoved me straight into the glass tower of champagne, blood mixed with sparkling wine. I couldn't move my legs to stand up, but Cassie had made a fatal mistake. She didn't know that the elegant woman who had just crossed the lawn and rushed over to stabilize my neck with the professional motion of a top expert was Dr. Helena Kingsley, the groom's aunt. She was also the very person who had drilled 8 screws into my spine 24 months ago. And this time, Dr. Kingsley wasn't using a scalpel. She was using the law. But I'm getting ahead of myself. To understand how a biological sister could be so cruel, I must take you back to an hour prior. The wrought iron gates of Magnolia Springs Botanical Garden first swung open, revealing what could only be described as a pastel fever dream. Pink roses, mint green hydrangeas, and cream-coloured lilies spilled from every available surface. Gossamer ribbons twisted around white columns. A string quartet played something baroque and expensive-sounding near a marble fountain. This was Cassie's vision of perfection, and I was about to become the single black mark on her pristine canvas. The mandatory dress code was spring pastel, baby pink, or mint green. The invitation had specified in looping calligraphy. I had complied by wearing a pale pink silk dress that I'd found on sale. The fabric draped nicely over my atrophied legs, and I'd even done my hair in soft waves. But my ultralight carbon wheelchair was matte black, a specialized piece of equipment worth $5,000 that I had saved forever to buy. This chair was my freedom, my independence. I didn't think Cassie would care about the color. I was wrong about a lot of things back then. I rolled myself up the accessible ramp, thank God the venue actually had won, and scanned the crowd for my sister. She stood near the champagne fountain, a vision in ivory lace that probably cost more than my entire year's worth of medical supplies. I approached with total sincerity. Despite 2 years of cold silence, despite the way she'd rewritten history to make herself the victim, I still hoped. "Cassie," I called out, my voice bright with forced cheer. She turned. "Matilda," she said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "You made it." I swallowed the hurt and held out a small gift box wrapped in vintage rose-patterned paper. Inside was a pair of vintage pearl earrings that I had bought using money withdrawn from my emergency medication savings fund. Cassie took the box with 2 fingers. She glanced at the pearls and her lip curled. "Second hand," she said it like a diagnosis. "It looks old. This doesn't match my Vera Wang dress at all." She carelessly dropped the gift box onto a nearby cocktail table. My heart tightened, but I swallowed my tears for the sake of the family peace my parents always forced me to maintain. It was then that Cassie's gaze dropped to my wheelchair, and her entire demeanor shifted from dismissive to outright hostile. "What is that? That pitch-black chair looks like the Grim Reaper in the Garden of Eden," she whispered, leaning down so only I could hear. "You did this on purpose, didn't you? You couldn't just let me have one perfect day." "Cassie, I didn't. This is my chair, I need it too." But she was already walking away. A moment later, she returned with a spare, pristine white tablecloth. "Cover this pile of junk up right now," she said, her voice low and dangerous. Before I could respond, she tried to drape the tablecloth over my legs, over the chair, as if I were something shameful that needed to be hidden away. For the first time in 2 years, 2 years of enduring her revised version of history, I fought back. I grabbed the tablecloth and pushed it away. "No." Cassie's face went red. She yanked the tablecloth back and stormed away, but not before I heard her mutter, "Ungrateful bitch." For the next hour I watched from the periphery, as Cassie worked the crowd. I watched her whisper to guests, watched them glance in my direction with expressions ranging from pity to suspicion. I knew what she was doing. She was controlling the narrative, telling people I was faking my paralysis due to Munchausen syndrome, and that the car accident she caused while texting wasn't nearly as bad as I made it out to be. About an hour after the party started, a photographer appeared. "Family photos," Cassie announced. "Everyone gather round." I wheeled myself over slowly, and there at the far left of the formation sat a large pink-ribboned banquet chair, the kind I absolutely could not use due to my T10 spinal injury. "Matilda," Cassie said sweetly, "move the wheelchair somewhere else, sit on that chair. I want this photo to be uniform." Everyone was watching. "Cassie," I said quietly, "you know I have a T10 spinal injury. I don't have the core balance to sit on a regular chair, I'll fall. Cassie's smile didn't falter, but something dark and ugly flashed in her eyes. You're just good at ruining things, she whispered. Stand up, you fake. Then she grabbed me. She used both hands to grip me under my left armpit and yanked upward with a violent jerk. My hands scrambled for the armrests of my chair but found only air. The world tilted sickeningly. In her fury and her haste, Cassie stepped on the hem of her own long dress. Her grip on me loosened and then released entirely as she dodged backward. My lower body was dead weight. The momentum from her pull launched me forward. The champagne tower was directly in front of me. I hit it with my shoulder and chest, and the entire structure came down in a cascading crash of breaking glass. Hundreds of shards exploded outward, slicing into my hands, face, and neck. The $200 bottle of Dom Pérignon fell onto my shoulder. Blood began to spread across the white tiles, mixing with champagne. I lay there unable to move. Oh my God, my $5,000 dress, you ruined my party, Cassie shrieked. Stand still, don't anyone touch her. The voice was female, authoritative. I saw a woman drop her Gucci handbag and push past a waiter. She moved with purpose. She knelt beside me in the puddle of wine and blood and placed her hands on either side of my head, stabilizing my neck. Listen to me carefully, she said, her voice calm and professional. Don't try to move, don't turn your head. I'm going to hold you steady until the paramedics arrive. I knew that voice, Dr. Helena Kingsley, Greg's aunt, the chief of neurosurgery at Mount Sinai Hospital. Dr. Kingsley looked up, her sharp gaze finding Greg in the crowd. Call 911 immediately, report a spinal injury and assault, request police and an ambulance, right now. Assault, what are you talking about? She fell, it was an accident. Cassie's voice was shrill. Matilda Wells, Dr. Kingsley said softly to me. I know you, I'm going to take care of you, you're safe now. Aunt Helena, you're overreacting, she's faking it. She can walk, she's just acting to ruin my day. Cassie's voice was filled with panic. Dr. Kingsley's hands didn't move from my head. Miss Wells, she said, loudly enough for everyone to hear. I am the one who personally drilled 8 pedicle screws into your sister's T10 and T11 vertebrae 24 months ago at Mount Sinai Hospital. I know the structure of her shattered bones better than she does herself. A collective intake of breath from the crowd. All of Cassie's whispered rumors collapsed. Do you want to debate medical knowledge with the chief of neurosurgery? Dr. Kingsley continued, her tone making it clear this was not actually a question. Silence from Cassie. The sound of sirens cut through the garden, growing louder. Within minutes, paramedics were surrounding me. We have police en route as well, doctor, one of the paramedics confirmed. Dr. Kingsley nodded. Good, we need a full report. Aggravated battery on a person with a disability. Witnesses should be interviewed. As the paramedics carefully strapped me to a backboard and began to load me onto the stretcher, I caught a final glimpse of my sister. She was looking at Greg, who was now being questioned by a police officer. I was being wheeled away, leaving the ruined wedding and the shattered glass behind me. I had new injuries, but this time I wasn't just surviving. This time I had a witness. I had a champion. And I had a neurosurgeon with a badge who wasn't afraid to use the law to deliver the justice I had waited 2 long years for.